This week, SCiPtember, SCP TTRPG 2, a major milestone for one of our favorite SCP YouTubers, and we'll talk with Dino-Draws about fur inspirations as an SCP author. Since our last episode, Robert Kennedy Jr. dropped out of the presidential race and endorsed former President Donald Trump. And in even more interesting news, I tied my shoes this morning. It's infinitely more interesting than whenever he does.
I chewed some bubble gum yesterday. I cleared my throat. I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Nolan, the K is silent. And this is SCP Weekly.
What have we been up to over the last 2 weeks? Not getting punched in the face at work, I hope.
Yeah, no, none of that happened. More so difficult clients, but they weren't very physical about it, just more verbal. So, you get used to it.
Right on. Anything else exciting?
Oh yeah, and some mysterious, generous donor helped alleviate almost half of my financial debt.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it. Nothing important.
That's huge, dude. Congratulations. I'm fucking stoked for you, man.
Yeah, I still got about, $2,000 to pay off, but,
That'll go quick.
Yeah, it'll go quick. But it was a major, a surprise because I've been really struggling to get just do basic things like buying groceries and everything because of it all. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go on a limb. Hey guys, this is, I'm kind of struggling with this right now. And I know this really might sound like a dick thing to ask. I know it's not a dick thing to ask for help, but how I am. But if you can help me even, put it just the smallest dent in my, my financial debt, and I'd be forever grateful. And then one person donated $1,500 to me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Was that our mysterious benefactor again?
Yeah.
It was? Oh,
yeah.
SCP Angel, man.
Yeah.
There are angels in this world.
There are good people in this world, no matter how shitty it gets.
It's amazing, dude. I'm fucking stoked for you. Like, yeah, you said how much like you were going to be saving a month, and then I know you and how you do like the whole snowball thing. So that's the rest of that debt is going to be gone before you know it, man. You're going to be in really good shape. I'm happy for you, dude.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of ups and downs over the months. But yeah, seems like you're in a good spot with your job too, like finding not just employment but fulfillment with it, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, it'd be good if the job either paid a bit more or gave more hours, but I'm making do with what I am right now.
Yeah. Are you still doing the certification thing?
Yeah.
So that has yet to happen?
Yeah, that's yet to happen. I still need to finish the 40-hour course. Okay.
But so there's a pay bump that comes with that, right?
Yeah. From what I know, you get an immediate $1 pay bump once you get the certification. I think at 6 months, there's an opportunity for a pay raise, and I think at a year, there's another opportunity.
And is there like an unspoken thing, like, hey, you finish this certification, and the hours can go up at that point too?
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Well, I hope multiple good things happen for you at the end of that certification. And that shows commitment on your end. Like, yeah, I want to stay in this. I like this job. I'm, going to put in this extra effort towards commitment for this company, whatever it is. And they see that and like, oh, okay. Yeah. Firms put so many hurdles to like prove it. Like, you hired me. You fucking hired me. Why should I still continue to prove that I want to be here? I show up when I'm supposed to, and I do what you tell me to. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
My last 2 weeks, so the roof, we had our roof replaced. That is done. There's solar panels up there. We're still waiting on the, so you got to go through like permitting with the city to actually connect it to the grid. So we're still waiting on the permission to operate from the city. Once we get that back, we will make our own juice. There's a tree in front of the house that has to come down, and it's probably 100 to 150 year old silver maple. It's big. It's a massive tree, and there's no way to actually fell it. So, because power lines across the street, there's power lines over here. There's a house over here, and then there's another tree right next to it on this side. So they have to go up and take it down piece by piece and drop it down with zip lines. We got the estimate. They're actually supposed to be here today. It's Sunday on Labor Day weekend, and I don't believe it. But if you guys hear some saws and crashing sounds, that's what's going on during the podcast. And then finally, yesterday, I was able to take my daughter on her birthday whale watching trip that I booked a month before her birthday, which was in the middle of August. And they rescheduled it twice because they booked private events for those days that we were scheduled. And then once because the boat was down for maintenance. So this is like 3 times I had to go and tell my daughter and her friend, who we were like doing the logistics to get her to come with us. Like, hey, yeah, it's not going to be this weekend. It's going to be next weekend. And we had to do that 3 times. Finally got out on the boat. Saw a lot of dolphins, saw a lot of really cool ocean birds. No whales this time, but both my daughter and her friend were so damn stoked about it. I mean, it's just something as simple as the researchers on the boat had a live horseshoe crab that they were letting the kids hold and play with and tickle and stuff. They came around with the baleen, like the actual tooth thing that's in a whale's mouth that had fallen out. They came around with the show and tell, and they let them hold it and they explained to them what it was. And it was a really fun, really, really cool trip. Big boat. And then we didn't have to. And I don't like planning on a ferry because you got to get reservations and, then you have to, there's just so many logistics. When I'm trying to get on a boat at a certain time in one place, I don't want to have to get off of a boat at a certain time in another place to get there. But anyway, on the way home, we took the ferry, and that was a massive boat. When we were waiting to drive on, an 18-wheeler pulled off, like a fully loaded tractor trailer pulled off. I was like, oh, this is going to be so cool. So we rode 2 gigantic boats on the same day, and the kids were extremely stoked about it. And I was living vicariously through them. Like, I like being on a big boat anyway. You can keep your bass boats and the small stuff. I like being on big boats. And but seeing them, this is the first time either one of them had been on a boat that size, and seeing them just made my heart full. Watching memories be made. So yeah, that's been. And then I had my birthday, like I kind of called the whale watching trip, like, because we had to delay it so much that it just became like a combined, like, let's go for our birthdays. And then planning to go see Beetlejuice next week. That's happening. The sequel is coming out next Friday or Saturday. So we're going to be there on opening night. Yeah.
The joys of being a parent.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting to introduce the so many things to your child. I love it. Should we do on-site news?
On August 23rd, Quirius began a discussion on rewriting the procedures for rewriting historical or significant wiki articles. The discussion focuses on a hypothetical situation wherein a user contacts the original author of a historic or significant article, think SCP-173 or a KCON winner, and is given permission to rewrite the article. The post proposes codifying a process that would allow the original article to be preserved in an archived state rather than simply being unlisted. The post has spurred quite a bit of thoughtful discussion, ranging from expanding the proposed archival procedures to any article and what to do if the rewritten article flops, to discussion on author autonomy and community responsibility. On August 26th, Psychic Programmer started a discussion regarding artwork tags for non-artwork pages. After introducing the illustrated tag, the tech team has not been able to reach a consensus on whether the work should also get the art style tags, such as animated and logo. Much of the discussion follows a thread of not increasing the already strained workload of the tagging team, with proposals like adding the tags as long as they are self-applied by authors.
On August 31st, Guare began a discussion on a potential gap in current anti-harassment team policies that would allow AHT-banned members to continue to interact with the community, quote, through collabs that existed before the AHT ban was enacted. For example, if two authors collaborated on a work and one of them was AHT banned after the collaboration began, but before the article was posted, Guare proposes a time limit of 30 or 60 days post-ban or post-report as a solution to the perceived gap. The discussion varies from suggestions to remove the time limit altogether to extending the policy to disciplinary team bans. Other posts question whether the motive is to punish authors for collaborating with, quote, the wrong people. The discussion is ongoing through September 6th, and the link is in the show notes. SCiPtember is back. If this is your first SCiPtember, here's how it works. Go to the SCiPtember page, linked in the show notes, and there you'll find a list of tags. Pick an article with the tag for the day, read it, and leave a comment with your thoughts on the article. If you're so inclined, you can make and post art of a piece of the article that you particularly enjoyed. Disclaimer, this is not an official event. SCiPtember 2024 is brought to you by Wink Wonk Boy and is not staff affiliated. Wink just wanted to bring it back, and it is. What's going on with new skips and tales these last 2 weeks?
Since our last episode, there have been 25 new SCP articles and 21 new tales. Wow, there's been a bit of an uptake in tales. I'm kind of happy about that. Yeah, not that articles aren't great, but like, it's great to have like those kind of stories be written too.
Yep. Yeah, tales used to be that you maybe see 5 a week, and now to see 21 over 2 weeks, and it's matching the pace of that they were overtaking for about 6 weeks there. They overtook SCP articles, and now we're back kind of in balance. So I love going to the short ones. I have a few. SCP-7643 is called Push and Pull by Quirius. When are we going to get Quirius on this show?
I don't know. We need to annoy them to get on the show.
Badger them. Site 43 article. Hey, if you guys are listening and you know Quirius, reach out to Quirius. Bug Quirius. Let's get Quirius on this show. We talk about Quirius so much.
Annoy the shit out of Quirius.
We love to talk to Quirius rather than about. Anyway, the article 7643, it's a Site 43 article. Harry Blank's joint up there in the Great White North. It's got I'm not going to give it away. It's called Push and Pull. The answer's in the title, but there's really good humor to it. It's a Weddle article, and there is a tale attached to it that takes Weddle to kind of a new place that we haven't seen him yet. I really enjoyed the combination of the two, the article and the tale. The second one is SCP-8916. This one is not humorous whatsoever. It's called Strange Fruit. It's written by Rounder House. There is some subtle body horror. Did you read this one, Nolan?
I haven't yet.
Check this one out, and you'll know what I mean. Like, how do you? There is body horror in this thing, but how do you describe it? It's different. poignant commentary on racism, censure, and cultural preservation with a unique look at the actions of the ethics committee. I think this is a really great article. A little heavy-handed in some spots, if I'm allowed to say so, but it's still an amazing read. Check that one out. And then SCP-8113, it's called Our Blooming Rot. And let me say this name, Ecthelioft. That this is the first article that I've seen written by this article. I couldn't find an author page, so this may actually be their first article. Yeah, and it reads as someone's first article, but it deserves to be read. It's about an expunged site. Very much what happened to Site 13 vibes coming off of this one. A site that had been expunged is rediscovered, and it unfolds a grisly history of the purpose of the site and why it was unknown to the Foundation. So SCP-7643, Push and Pull by Quirius, 8916, Strange Fruit by Rounder, and 8113, Our Blooming Rot by Ecthelioft. And anybody please reach out to the show and correct me if I said that name wrong. Those are my three.
Yeah. This week had some really good articles that I found as well. They're more on the longer side, especially the last one, but they're really good, like a really hard-hitting ones. The first one I have is SCP-8115, Distant Memories by, and forgive me if I mispronounce your name, Daloon. It's another Fire Suppression Department article, and for those unaware of what the Fire Suppression Department is, they were made for the Department Con that was made a while back, where essentially it's a sort of secretive department in the Foundation that, if employees want to, try to rat on secrets of the Foundation, or they're just like, hey, I'm not going to do this anymore, I'm going to quit. Their job is to pretty much gaslight the fuck out of those employees to basically saying like, hey, no, you're not going to do this, you're going to keep working for us, and spinning it in a way to make it think, oh, it's the employees' idea to stay, it's their own choice to stay.
Yeah, it's the Foundation's version of stop loss and retention.
Yeah.
Sinister. I love how sinister it is.
Yeah, and it's an article, not to get into detail about it. It's about an anomaly that essentially guides people through their most emotional memories. And it follows one researcher being guided through three of the most simultaneously joyous but also painful memories that he has. And, always count on the Foundation to use something that's, trying to help people in order to, manipulate the fuck out of their own employees. The next one is SCP-8447, What Are We Doing? By Radiant628. And again, this is another longer one, but essentially in this, bodies of what appear to be victims of Ebola from third world countries like Uganda and other African countries. Apparently, these people, after they died from Ebola, their bodies essentially just spontaneously appear like high above New York City before falling straight onto the ground. And so the Foundation is basically trying to find a way about why this is happening, but it's pretty fucked because they're not essentially trying to stop it. They're mainly just trying to contain it. So the point, and a little bit of a spoiler, they even resort to what is essentially mass murder in order to just, preserve what their idea of containment and normalcy is for this. And really, and it's from what I can tell, this is a first-time piece by this author. This is the first thing they've ever written for the wiki, and essentially it's both a critique on the idea of the Foundation ever being a quote-unquote good organization, and also a critique of essentially how people living in third world countries are both seen and treated by those in first world countries, and only, worrying about what's happening because of thinking like, oh, it's going to happen to another first world country, or God forbid, happen to their own. Like, essentially being more concerned about themselves than the actual people who are suffering through it. Just because they're either insanely poor or just from plain racism, just because they're people of color.
Shit.
Yeah.
I want to read that one just to find out what the containment procedures for bodies that spontaneously.
Yeah, and the article is structured in a way as like, after the special containment procedures, there's a description, and the description essentially just keeps being updated the more and more as they're trying to find out more and more about what's happening. Ending with a email from the lead of the research on this anomaly.
Is this
essentially
is this contemporary, or is this a period piece?
I'm not really sure. I mean, they're Ebola victims. If it wanted to be contemporary, I guess maybe it could have been COVID. So I don't know if you consider this a period piece, considering Ebola wasn't even really that long ago when we think about it. But all in all, this is a really great article. It's a great first-time piece by this author. I really suggest checking it out. And the last one I have is the longest one, and also the personally most emotionally hitting one. It's SCP-8450, All Vinegar Comes from Wine by Vapid Poem. And essentially, it seems like a very simple anomaly. Essentially, it's this small bottle of, I listed it in the notes as a wine bottle, but it's actually of vinegar. A special concoction that's with the footnote saying it's typically labeled as mother of vinegar. That essentially, no matter how much is taken up from it, it almost immediately just refills itself. And you think, okay, that's weird. It's not really much, you can go off that. However, when they found it, they found a series of documents that seemed to be written by the individual who created it. And the article is much less about, the anomaly itself and much more about the story of this person, going through their own journey of self-discovery, and essentially going through the years as they grow up with, not really in the best kind of household. Their dad, he tries to be a good dad, but he's, stuck in his vices with drinking, gambling, sometimes cheating on his wife. And his mother, well, I should say their mother, very narcissistic, in a way that very much immediately related to me and my own, journey with my own family. And like I said, it's the story of this person going through their own journey of discovering, their identity in regards of, their sexuality, their gender, and really struggling with themselves on this. Another reason it really hit home for me is, they constantly also struggle with money. They're trying to go through college, but they, work a job that has them work almost 50 hours a week because they want to try to be self-reliant, but they're, working themselves like a dog. And they really refuse on any kind of aid from them, whether it's from, loved ones or friends or colleagues that, want to try to lend a helping out, because they just keep refusing, because they just think, oh, no, I'm just going to be a scab. I'm just going to be a burden to you. And again, that really hit home for me personally, because like, you know how I talk about my own financial woes. Like, I'm pretty much the exact same way. And even though I know for a fact, like, oh, Vapid, they don't know who I am. They have no idea about my own journey. But this paralleled mine so much that it almost felt like for a moment that I was like reading myself in this story. And Vapid uses incredible symbolism in regards to like using color coding for certain words and dialogue, and they go in and explain the symbolism for it in the author post in the comments. But it's a very beautiful and very painful story of one person coming to find who they are, and even ending with, the last part of the document, from what I can tell, this person is like 40 now. When they were growing up, it was more like the, mid-late 80s, early 90s. They were with this. And, going on a journey of like sexuality and gender identity during that era, it's already not easy now, but even back then it would have been much more difficult.
Impossible almost.
Yeah.
Like nobody even wanted to hear the questions. Yeah,
and saying how, like, the last bit of the document, how they're about 40 now, they're like, I think I've, like, gotten enough money for myself in order to, like, finish college and, be able to finally start living. And it's a really nice little moment of hope that it's like, just because you're later in your life doesn't mean that it's over for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can be, 30, 40, 50 years old, be at that point in your life and be like, I'm here now. I want to finish what I started and I can start living. And it's like, there is no shame in that. There is no shame in that. Everyone goes through their own journey in different ways and different paces. But even then, it's very heartbreaking for this person. And I'm not going to spoil what happens, but showing that they're desperately showing that despite everything that happened to them, despite all the pain that they went through, they still persevered and found a place where they can be happy, where they found people that they can genuinely call their friends. And yet at the same time, they still aren't able to forget the pain and the joy they once had previously. And it's very beautifully written. It's very painfully written if you relate to it like I did. But it's painful in a good way, is what I'll say. And again, this is a very long story. It's at 11,000 words. So yeah, it's like a small novel, but if it interests you, please read it. You will not regret it. And again, just listing those back off. SCP-8115 Distant Memories by Daloon. SCP-8447 What Are We Doing by Radiant628. And SCP-8450 All Vinegar Comes From Wine by Vapid Poem. And for anyone who's interested, we're going to try to list the links to these in our show notes for this episode.
Too easy.
Yeah. Anyway, with that emotional roller coaster, we'll take a break now. We'll be back with Offsite News.
Dr. Gray, what are you doing here?
Intern, I thought no one came to this closet. So this is where I go to read my real crazy fan fiction. And what's that you're reading?
It's, well, you're not dangerous, so I guess I can tell you. This is Confinement. It's a comic series. It's about a guy named Connor who respawns when he dies.
Really? That just sounds like a whole lot of bung to me.
It's absolutely not. It's actually really good, but I've been keeping it a secret for now. I don't want Dr. Bucket to get any ideas on dangerous tests he can make me do. Connor can afford to die, but not me.
Wow, that sounds excitingly veil-breaking. Do you know where I can get one?
Thanks for asking, Monica. All you need to do is look up SCP Confinement Kickstarter, and the pre-order page should be the first result. And even if you can't get in on the pre-orders, the comic will be for sale on the unredacted Etsy store after the Kickstarter ends.
Awesome. I'm already so excited to get mine. Oh, maybe I can show them to Grim.
Between 7 to 9% of people are estimated to fear deep water. Even for those without full-fledged thalassophobia, oceans and rivers and lakes can easily become a source of terror. But water is everywhere. In the plumbing of your homes, in what you eat and drink, inside your own body. Water falls from the sky and runs beneath the ground. You can't run from it. You can't hide from it. Water will seep through the cracks and into the walls and make itself a part of the very air you breathe. That 9% is right. Water is to be feared, and you can never escape from it. Waterlogged is a short-form horror anthology podcast highlighting the underutilized forms of water. Instead of rivers and oceans, we focus on plumbing, puddles, mist, and more. Created by Daisy McNamara and produced by Law of Names Media and Sublitoral Sounds.
Thanks to our sponsor, Marketing by Dado. Come see Find Dado Market Price campaign for collaboration with Mick and D's. Find advertising for customer copy protect too. If you like this content, then hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications for the channel. If you're watching on YouTube, that's what the algorithm likes, and it would really help us get the word out about what's going on in the SCP community. If you want to support us beyond that, you can sponsor the show at patreon.com/scpweekly for as little as $2 a month.
Now, in offsite news. The second edition of the SCP Tabletop RPG has been released on DriveThruRPG and Amazon, among other platforms. The Tabletop RPG, which has been in development for some time, has finally been released in its final form. A PDF of the core rulebook is free to download. This follow-up to the 2021 first edition brings with it several tweaks, including a simplified skill list, increased variety in the dice used for various kinds of rolls, and the elimination of decimal points from skill modifiers. The finished book is just over 200 pages long and contains everything a player or GM needs to create a character, an adventure, and then play the game. Unlike the previous edition, it contains the rules needed to play a reality bender and a few other kinds of anomalous humanoid. It also includes setting information written by some sort of sexually irresistible literary genius, summarizing various aspects of the SCP universe in ways specifically designed to be helpful to those playing and running the game.
Who is that?
I have no idea. I mean, it must be someone with immense sexual charisma, just someone, and you're probably going to want to bleep this out. Just someone with the biggest dick, just not even just lengthwise, just very girthy, just someone who's just the most interesting person in the world, could write something like that. I honestly don't know who we're talking about. I'm just gassing him up.
But if it's that good, people should check it out. Sorry for interrupting. I was curious.
Yeah. The main book is free, but there is also a supplement with additional rules for weapon customization and a large deck of the system's drama cards, which can be bought for only a few dollars each. We really should play that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. I found the end of Diablo. I need something else. In YouTube, as some of you may know, Mr. Illustrated, formerly known as SCP Illustrated, has recently reached 1 million subscribers on his YouTube channel. He's been creating incredible content for this community for the past 7 years, and he recently released a video thanking everyone for helping him achieve this milestone, as well as looking back on his journey as an artist. The link to the video will be in the show notes. If you haven't subscribed to him yet, what are you doing? Part 3 to his SCP-610 remaster will be releasing on his channel very soon, so be on the lookout. Congratulations, Mr. Illustrated. We wish you only the very best for the future. Anyway, what's up, Dino?
Hi.
Hello.
This thing is on.
Okay, cool. My mic is sometimes a little bitch, so it's like, am I audible in the slightest? Let's find out.
You are. We can hear you just fine. Is it okay if we call you Dino?
Go for it.
Outstanding.
I've never done one of these before, so I'm gonna apologize in advance if I'm the most awkward son of a bitch on the planet.
I love
No.
how many authors we have on this show that I've never done a podcast before. I think we have to hold the record for this in the SCP community.
Most guys summoned.
Most
except for Cactus, that
podcast
dude's
cherries
prepared for
broken.
everything.
What's that?
I said, except for Cactus, that guy's always prepared.
Oh yeah, we're on the other side of the Cactus. We were probably the only thing that Cactus hadn't done. All right, let's do the official intro. Here's our guest, Dino-Draws.
Howdy, hey.
Hello.
Hi, that's
Boy,
me.
boy.
I am some guy from somewhere.
How you doing today, Dino?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's
fucking
almost
hot out.
Yeah. Try being in southern Utah during the summer. It's
Jesus.
yeah. It gets 120 degrees here in the summers.
Ooh.
We had that fake fall early cool snap last week. It came through and it's kind of hung around. That was last night. We were talking earlier. I took my daughter and her friend on a whale watching trip yesterday, and we were on a couple of boats. And towards the end of the day, when the sun started going down, it was getting downright chilly.
Wish that were me. There is no air conditioning in this dorm building.
Gross. If you're paying to live somewhere, it should have climate control.
Yeah,
And this,
wish.
as a half-ass contractor too, if you don't have climate control, you also don't have humidity control, and your building is going to deteriorate very quickly. Wow,
Yeah.
I can't believe
So
there's
if you hear a reasonably loud fan in the background, that is that.
damn. Well, I wanted to just pick. Well, actually, I'll write it down for later when we get into the actual interview. I get curious and I get excited and I want to ask questions right now, but I have to wait.
God damn it, Kelsey. We have to stay professional.
I know. I'll just edit this out. Editor. Okay.
Yeah, you can tell this is a show run by autistic people.
God mood.
Anyway,
Goodness.
before we start off the interview, we'll break the God damn it. Good thing this is recording. Before we start off the interview, we'll break the ice with a game of Fact or Myth. Last week, we had Trout Mask Replica on, and these were her responses. 1. I almost had a brick wall fall on me. Or 2. I've been to 7 different states in 1 year. And Dino, what we do is that we have to try to pick which one we think is the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. I picked that the brick wall was true because Trout definitely seems like the person who would be nonchalant about a brick wall falling on top of
She
them.
does seem the type for that.
Yeah.
That's
Pretty
a
sure,
buddy
yeah.
of mine.
Pretty sure Cassie picked the same thing, and that I didn't get to pick because Trout gave us the answer before I was able to.
What was the answer, just so our viewers can know?
It was the brick wall.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
See?
Yeah, it was
See,
the
I
brick wall.
told you. She's the kind of person who would just be nonchalant about that.
And now it's
Anyway.
Dino's turn. Dino,
Oh,
what do you got
boy.
for us?
Yeah.
I'm really bad at coming up with these sorts of things, but I bullshitted 2 of them, and I think the answer will become increasingly obvious the more that I end up talking. But I have written down for the two little facts, 2 little things, is I have been over 200 feet below the earth before, and I have tried crocodile meat before.
Okay, I'm going to make my guess right now. 200 feet below the earth.
Yeah. Honestly, because...
And anybody who
I know
visits your
a few-
author page should immediately know the answer to that question.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, because honestly, you know, I have a few friends from Florida. Like, it's not all that uncommon to have tried crocodile meat before. And you do seem like the kind of person who, for some reason, would be trapped far below the crust of the earth. So, not just because, you know, of your name, but
Nah.
you just have that vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll
Am I to
post
give
that
the
on
answer or just to leave it that?
No. You don't give us the answer. I will contact you at a later date before our next episode just to get the answer from you then.
Gotcha, boss.
I cannot tell you how many times that we've had guests come on and we've had to stop them every single time because they keep telling us the answer. Anyway, we'll post that on our social media, and our listeners can vote on which one they think is the true fact. And now we get to the interview portion.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Kelsey, you want to take it away?
Sure, yeah. So first question, get a feel for, you know, what brought you to the SCP community. How'd you get here? Like, I came through creepypasta, like the Russian science experiment is what got me here in TV tropes. How did you find?
That's actually a kind of funny story because, like, okay, I had heard about SCP when I was, like, tiny, and it was, like, I don't know, there was not a lot of shit going, I don't know, like, Series 6 was happening or something back when I, like, first heard about it. It was, like, teeny tiny.
Back when you were a little baby
dumbass
dino.
who had that brief moment that I think every kid does when they find SCP. That's like, oh my god, is that real? And then I, like, I got into it for, like, 2 months, and then I forgot about it for several years. And then back in 2022, my one friend walked up to me in, like, April and was like, hey, Dino, I want to do an SCP one-shot D&D campaign. Or just like an SCP one-shot. And I was like, dude, that sounds really cool. I haven't thought about SCP in years. That'd be really fun to participate in. And then, like, early May, she made a server for it, got a bunch of friends in, and then next thing we know, 2 weeks later, it goes from being a one-shot to a campaign that is still currently running. Because all of our hands royally slipped when it turned to character creation and, like, making backstory lore for the characters. And while I was putzing, because at first I was like, oh god, I haven't thought about this stuff in years. Holy shit, this website got bigger. What the hell is any of this? And I was, like, putzing around for character creation, and one of the options was a member of a group of interest. And so I was just scrolling down the group of interest page, like, okay, oh my god, there's way more of these than I remember. Who the hell are all of these people? And I eventually ended up finding the Nobody GOI. And then I fell down, like, 8 consecutive rabbit holes reading that entire tag while working on making my player character for that campaign. And it was all over from there. I would join the wiki in September of 2022 because of the SCiPtember event, which they just started just started doing it again this year, so I'll have to break out my drawing tablet later today. But I joined the website for that event because I was like, oh, it's an art event. I can do art. I can draw. I don't think I'm going to write anything, but I can draw. And then that was, like, the creative equivalent to a gateway drug, because next thing I know, the Cold Post Con popped up, and I was like, oh, that could be fun. That's not that scary. I could write something. And so I did. And then And then my hand just kind of slipped, and I just haven't stopped. Now you're gonna have to beat me out with a broom.
Or a mop, I think, is what your author page says. We're gonna have to.
It is a mop.
Shoot you out with a
Yeah. If I had a nickel.
wet, stinky mop.
Yeah, so it's all because of like a TTRPG that my friend is running, and it's still running. It's still going.
Well, this is the first time I've ever actually heard. So initially, you found SCP through wherever you found it, but what really got you into there was being approached by somebody in real life about it, and you don't hear that very often. Like it's always.
Rosie Fox is one of my friends. She's also on the wiki. She hasn't written anything yet, but she's working on it. She's the one who dragged me into this mess.
Very cool. Yeah,
she's a friend in real life and stuff.
That's a unique SCP origin story that it came from an in real life encounter. Cool.
So we can blame her for all of
and
this.
I don't think that would have happened. You know, you said it was around the Series 6 era. I don't think that would have happened in Series 1, 2, 3, even, up through 4 or 5.
No,
like
I
wasn't
first
that
found
popular.
SCP in like 2018, and then I forgot about it until 2022 when my friend walked up to me, and it was like, whoa. Oh, crap. This is everything that I like in a media. Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
My interests are a flat circle, and it all loops back to something adjacent to SCP, so I think I'm just kind of trapped here for a while.
the SCP Twilight Zone.
Yeah. My interests
now you're
are
stuck
a
here with
flat
the rest
circle.
of us.
You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
Next question. Is there any new and interesting stuff planned for 682?
Like the lizard?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to hope
the hard to kill one.
Yeah, I'm going to hope they don't try to kill that thing again. They keep on trying that, and I don't think it works. I think they're just making it mad.
Yeah, probably. There was at one point where they did kind of get rid of it, but then they forgot all about it, and then they fucked up, and then it became an all-consuming god,
That was a bad thing that happened. Not a very wise choice. You'd think eventually they'd learn, oh yeah, we can't kill this thing, but then they keep trying, and this is all like an exercise in futility. And
it was just a minor oopsie,
Yeah, just a little oopsie. Their insurance covered it though, so it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, who cares that the entire universe became unwind because of it? Insurance covered it.
Yeah, Goldmaker Reen's got our back. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just ignore how much our insurance went up for that one.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right, inspirations. Any authors on or off the wiki that are not even authors, but any kind of creators that you would count as an inspiration for your writing and art?
I think reading House of Leaves did something to my brain that is like irreparable. Like completely. Types of books that just you read it and then you finish it and it's like, oh my fucking god, holy shit. Like that definitely did something to just my brain in general. I'm trying to think of other stuff.
How would you say that it changed your brain? Like the before and after?
Just the way that it's set up and the way that the book tells its winding little stories is really fun, and I really enjoy it. Complicated as all hell and a bit of a nightmare to get through, but it's really cool. And now I can't see the word house without going, blue text. Me and my roommate have a painted little sign on our dorm that says it's not a house, it's a house, but the second word house is painted in blue.
As someone who also owns House of Leaves, I can attest to this.
I'm in the dark. I'm completely in the dark.
It's
fucking
like,
loser.
Oh god, how the hell do you explain that book? It's like, okay, it's a book that is a manuscript of a movie that doesn't exist, being analyzed by a guy who is dead, and the manuscript has been found by this, like, 25-year-old man who's kind of losing his mind the entire time, and he's going through and annotating it and leaving all his little... and like half telling his life story in the footnotes of the book, all while you're also reading this like fake analysis of a movie that doesn't exist in universe, mind you, with a bunch of fake sources and shit. And then the pages start getting weird, and next thing you know, you have to turn the book upside down to even read what the hell they're talking about next. The formatting gets all funky. It's fun. It's like if you put a format screw into a book, and it works.
It's essentially a story
amazing.
within a story within a story.
Yeah, and there's like an editor on top of that.
Is it one book or is it a series?
It is one book.
It's one
It is
book.
one sizable book. Like, I think it's like 700 pages. Hold on, I have it on my desk right now. Hold on. How many pages are you? Nope. Oh, what the? I forgot about all the numbers in the back. 707 pages.
Oh.
Forgot there was like an entire...
It's a weekend read.
Wow.
Yeah, there have been entire fucking university papers written on this book.
Really?
Oh,
Who wrote it?
absolutely.
Yeah.
It is Mark Z. Danielski. I think I'm saying that right.
All right. I'm definitely going to check this out.
Do it.
So,
It's cool.
so when you say it changed, like when you say it changed the way you think, did it inspire you to like, I want my writing to achieve this effect, or did it change the way you look at the world around you and interpret those things
it's just
in
kind
your
of
writing?
changed about like how my brain could think about writing horror, and it did kind of inspire something that I'm working on for the wiki, but I can't talk about that yet.
Okay.
You'll see.
Was it? Will we see that in October?
I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
I'm excited. I'm so excited about this.
I'm also excited for
It's a month away. Oh my God, it's a month away.
1 month.
It's going to be so great.
Next question. What are your thoughts on Nobody?
It's my favorite GOI. I have a lot of... I don't know. I think that it's interesting to me because it's kind of this blank slate group of interest where you can do whatever the hell you want with it, but it also can be, like, flexible allegorically, and, like, you can just do fun shit, like, character-wise and horror-wise with something you can't see that's definitely there, but is it though? Is it really?
So there's a skip, and I don't remember what the number is, but I think you wrote it. They found the body in the hallway with the ooze.
Yeah, that one.
Is that yours?
The number of my own article. Yes, it is.
Okay, I read this. I love this, but like when we have Billith on the show, we have to absolutely take advantage to say, "Listen, you wrote something that completely goes over my head. Help me." And I'm doing the same thing with you. I'm pleading with you right now. Please help me understand, because it was brilliantly written. I absolutely loved it, but 75% don't get. Help.
Okay, what part do you like not get with it?
What is the goop?
Okay, it's basically, so like with the Nobody GOI, one of the more consistent elements of it is the idea of it being a succession of roles, where you have like a good example is like the Man Who Wasn't There canon, where they do that a lot. The 120 Archives canon has their own version that kind of succeeds roles, and the Man in the White Suit series also does it, where it's like it's a role and a title that gets passed on from person to person, who then assumes the lack of identity that is Nobody, and then, like, does whatever the hell they're gonna do, and then fucks off. And then the role gets passed on again. With what the goop is basically how part of my little headcanon for how that transfer functions.
So it's the mechanism. So the goop is a physical mechanism of
it's a mechanism
the
for
succession.
how the transfer occurs. Yes.
Okay, that was kind of where my head was, but I was like,
yeah, that's how it goes. And hilariously enough, fun fact, this is part of lore that I created for the TTRPG version of the character that I have been playing. And I just decided, well, I could like half interpret this story divorced from the campaign and like write some of that lore stuff onto the site. I haven't gotten around yet to doing more of it, but I have assorted little plans. It's just, can I wrangle my brain to write is the biggest question there.
So in your nobody headcanon, is there only ever one nobody at a time?
There is only one at a time.
Okay. I think that was the thing that hung me up more than anything was that concept, because in other canons that I had read more of, like Ip used
No Return, I think, has several.
Ip used some nobody in their Black Autumn.
Oh yeah, Black Autumn 4 also has multiple iterations.
Yeah. So I was like, I had never read in depth a canon where there was only a single nobody. So that I think is where I hung up.
That's fair. There's like a hand. It's a mixed bag, because the fun thing about the GOI is that it's just kind of open for interpretation, and everyone does whatever the hell they want with it. And sometimes there's several, and sometimes there's just one, and sometimes there's only one guy, and if you kill that guy, well then the guy's gone. And sometimes there's a succession of roles where there's just a lineage of guys.
Do you plan to write more nobody stuff?
I do. I just need to figure it out properly. I have plans. It's just one day I'll get around to them.
Because that article was amazing. I'll have to look it up and link that in the show notes for this episode. That article is one that we should put in the recommendations, guys. Read this. Is Dino-Draws' nobody article. That amazing, and I hope you write more. That's the reason I threw that in the interview, was to get you talking about nobody, because brilliantly executed. I just didn't quite understand it.
Gotcha.
Okay, so this isn't necessarily a question, but this is a reaching out for some networking. I checked out your YouTube channel.
Oh shit!
Yeah. We do a little bit of research when we have guests come on the show. I am digging your animatics, and I would like to formally invite you to collab on an episode of SCP Unredacted that we have coming up. It's an Ori Tiefling article, 8585. Yes. Would love to include some of your animatics in that episode, and we're in the process of production to where we can still do that. So don't know what you got going on with school or personal commitments, authorial commitments, or anything like that, but would love to collaborate with you on that episode.
That would be really neat.
Very cool. Yeah, then we can after the show we can talk and collab on that.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Sweet.
Yeah. Just imagine my voice talents, Kelsey's editing, and Dino's artistic skills.
Oh, dog shit. Anything you would like to plug?
Like article-wise?
Yeah, or your stuff.
Yeah, anything.
Or
could be something you've made or something someone else made that you think is underrated, that more people should.
Yeah, tell us in our audience what you think people should be reading right now, whether it's your stuff or not.
Shit, every article has slid out of my brain imaginable. I'm really proud of my 8KCon entry, which was 8007.
That was that Rocks?
It was Rock Dragons.
Yeah.
I think that's the longest. That's definitely the longest thing that I have written on site, but it did pretty well, and I'm really happy with it. And I did fun art for it. And there's dragons. There's arts of dragons.
Everyone loves dragons.
Right up top. Great art. So what are you most proud of about that? Like writing wise, or just how well it did in the contest? Because it's 173 upvotes, and that was article number what for you? How many in was that?
I think I ranked 25th, I think, in the original contest. I don't fully remember. Hold on. Actually, wait, where's the hub? I can find out. I forgot that exists. Yeah, 25th is where 8007 ended up ranking, which was way more than I was expecting.
Was AK exhausting for you, like watching your article and how it did, or were you just like, okay, it's there?
I was just kind of like, well, because this is actually, because 8007 is actually the second SCP that I wrote. So I was like, I haven't done one of these in like almost a year. And then I had this idea like in my back pocket. And then the theme dropped for being fantasy. And I was like, wait, I can have an excuse to get myself to write this, because evidently I can only write things when I have a deadline. And I feel like I learned a lot about being able to draw photo manipulations, because there's, I think, 3 painted images of me painting dragons into various photographs, and I think I learned a lot while doing that, just like for what I could do artistically, and it has led to me being like, oh, I could paint critters and beasts and assorted things into photographs.
What
make my own.
What photo editing program do you use?
I use Photoshop. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with how it turned out. And then I was also very surprised with how people received it, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, the images serve the narrative very, very well.
Thank you.
It takes a second to like. I like that when you're looking at the images, you see that there's something there, and it takes a second to realize what it is you're looking at. But then when you see it, you shit bricks.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a wing.
Yeah. Oh, those are teeth.
That's a face.
That's a thing.
There's a critter in there.
Yeah.
That's some kind of creature.
Beast, even.
All right. Any other articles that? What are you digging right now? What so you said you're friends with Trout. Any Trout stuff that you would like to promote?
Oh, the stuff that Trout wrote for WrathCon was really good.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
And oh fuck, what's the name of it? I'm forgetting every article to ever exist. Hold on, let me open Trout's author page and then I can remember what the hell it's called. Trout.
While you're doing that, I want to plug one of your, I don't know, this an article. Yeah, one of your articles, but your WrathCon article, which is still out there.
Yes, I put it back.
Revel in Wrath Revived. You rebel.
It didn't die.
But it is the most appropriate WrathCon article to have been resurrected.
Yeah.
Let us revel in wrath. Let us revel in all that disgusts. Let us revel in wrath. Great, amazing art.
Thank you.
And this is 682, right?
It is, yes.
Yeah. So I mean, the hard to kill reptile being the centerpiece of a WrathCon article, absolutely, this cannot be destroyed. I see what you did there.
It was deleted but did not die.
No. Hard to kill. And I love the tombstone that Shuzit made for you.
Oh no, it's so fucking cool. All the different little tombstones that got made for WrathCon were like so baller. I was so surprised when I opened the hub and saw all of them. I was like, oh my god, holy shit.
And the thought that like Shuzit knows what's going on in these articles. Like it wasn't just, oh, I'm going to make this for this person and not even no.
All like reflective of the articles.
Yes, and yours is like, absolutely so reflective of the hard to kill reptile. I think it's glorious.
Okay, no, I found the one that I was thinking of. SCP 7619, I think, is one of my favorite articles from Trout. It's about a Ouroboros Ouroborealis serpent, and I think it's cute.
Oh, this has a poem in it. It's another Trout poem.
Yeah.
In the language of
like
old,
this
with
one.
love
It's
profound, I pen a poem from depths unbound, from Queraston, this heartfelt verse to Seraphine, my love immersed. This is as Trout is bringing poetry to, like, it's not that it didn't exist before, but this is quality shit that she is integrating into her articles, and the more I see it, the more I love it. There should be more poetry on the wiki.
If I may plug a Dino article, for our listeners, I really recommend Dino's article, SCP-8988, Oral Genesis. Yeah, it's and I remember, Kelsey, we talked about this some time ago, whenever this was first posted, of being a short but very well written piece that just sort of like really gives a good feeling for like the kind of threat that is kind of like compounding and piling up, even giving like some really amazing looking imagery with it, and even giving like a whole rundown for the project set to contain the anomaly, and then only just ending with with like 7 words for the description of SCP-8988 being the, and then everything just being restricted to level 5 access. No joke, when I first read this, I was clicking literally everywhere on the page for like 10 minutes, thinking that there was some secret collapsible that I was missing.
No, that's it.
That's it.
It's the core of the earth.
And now I gotta bleep out that spoiler again, because it's still fresh enough that people are gonna go read this. So I'm gonna garble that out.
No, this one Orogenesis was a fun one to write. I wrote it in only like 2 days, I think. It kind of has a funny story because my one buddy, Mr. Frown, he wrote like he did one of his 001-Js because he does that a lot. And this one was like, I think the joke was like, oh, you think it's so easy to write an 001 proposal? Fine, do it. And then it was just like an empty field that you could type in. And so as a joke, I think I wrote like the last paragraph of the actual article's description with the mention of the veil being lifted and humanity to be brought off world. And then I think I think it was the first paragraph of the actual containment procedures, and then the last little paragraph at the bottom with then just description. SCP-001 is the core of the earth, and then I like sent that screenshot to in like the chat that we were all talking in, like, I raise you. I actually committed to the bit and wrote something, and then several people were like, wait, Dino, wait, no, you need to actually do something with that. And I was like, well, fuck, okay. And so I then levied my own personal challenge with, okay, let's try to write an SCP that is all conprox and then a single sentence for the description and see what happens. And then 2 days later, I slammed this down like, okay, here we go.
It works.
Mm-hmm.
It works.
It's me throwing a bunch of geological terms at the wall and seeing what sticks and all sorts of fun words.
Yeah. And also SCP-1305, Cat Lore.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I did with Trout. It's the rewrite.
Yeah, with Trout and Vapid
Trout and Vapid Poem, yeah. Totally normal cat. Totally normal.
Totally normal. Nothing bad happens.
Everything's
whatsoever.
fine and nothing bad happens in this article. Everyone is safe and okay.
Yeah, they're never gonna die.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's just a cat. I don't know what the issue is. That one was a fun one to do. I ended up getting, I think Trout came to me and was like, Dino, do you want to help me with this? And I was like, fuck yeah, I love writing little journal entries. And then later on we called in Vapid to help spruce up the written journal entries and all that shit.
I have one follow, just like a personal curiosity. So you're going to college right now? Are you a geology major?
I am a geology major.
Yeah? Okay.
Which is why I have like 3 articles that is just geology, and there will be more. Actually, I think I have 4 because there's a tale that I wrote. Yeah. Yeah,
you gotta force one of your special interests into another special interest. That's how it works. That's how it works.
I can tell you in depth just why the rock is wrong. I can tell you just why it's fucked up.
Did you write?
And if you don't do that, then you're breaking the law. That's how it works.
Did you write the article about the rock in Australia that everything is moving around?
No, but I do know the person who did write that.
Yeah.
But I did not write that one.
Okay.
However, I think it is really cool.
Yeah, that one was cool. Like, what is going on? Oh, what? How do you deal with that?
The obsidian.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now that the interview portion is over, Kelsey, do we have any mail?
We do.
Oh. For those unaware, this is the section of the show where listeners send in either emails or respond to us on Twitter, and we get to publicly embarrass ourselves by reading literally anything that they send us.
Oh no.
Yeah, starting with from Twitter. The deer was in my yard again, staring at me, from Fierce Fauna. So when I came to, I had a bottle of wine in my hand and a hot dog in the other. The dude was absolutely mangled at this point, and well, I guess Murderlust knew what I'd be hungry by this point, so thanks, Murderlust me. From Fern.
Murderlust
Thank you,
Fern is a
Michael.
bro. This sounds like an ongoing saga.
It probably is. We're probably going to get more next episode. And finally...
Fern's writing a skip by proxy through this.
Oh, yeah. And finally, there are two types of people. People who can extrapolate from incomplete data.
In the email inbox.
From Loggerhead.
Hey, waterlogged nerds. It's your boy Hollow with another weird question. Favorite animal to see in the zoo and why? Anywho, I'm watching Minority Report with the person that actually has a brain in my marriage. Thanks and best regards. Hollow as stare above. Favorite animal to see in the zoo?
Red pandas.
Yeah? Why?
Because they're fucking adorable.
Little
They're
critters.
little babies.
I think, yeah, marsupials. Any of the marsupials, just because they're like so other, you know, living in the States and all we have is the opossum. But seeing those weird like platypus, like is platypus even all the Australia bullshit. Like this thing has a duck bill and it's venomous and it lays eggs, but it makes milk. And what the fuck is it? It's like a beaver, duck, chicken, snake.
It's a platypus.
These are the things of myths, and it will fuck you up. Yeah, those kinds of things.
Hell yeah.
It's a cryptid. Like a duck-billed platypus is a fucking cryptid, guys.
You'd think that'd be like a bad taxidermy, but no, that's just a real ass
No,
animal.
this is real.
Yeah, and it's God's greatest joke on humanity.
About you, Dino?
I like Komodo dragons. I like seeing them. They're baller
Beasties.
as hell.
Yes. Yes, I am also partial to like Australia. So I want to go there, but I don't want to go there because crocodilians. So snakes and crocodilians. I hate them. Like I'm not afraid of them, but I hate them. I think that as a human being, it's built into my amygdala that these things should die, right? Like it's there. It's a primal thing in my brain. This thing will eat me and not think anything of it. Like not even the fact that its belly is full. It will drag me in, drown me, brutally mangle my body and consume me and not even be like, oh, that was a really great meal. Like it's just on to the next thing. They're prehistoric murder machines, and humans should eradicate them, is what my amygdala tells me. But it's to see them in nature.
Cool.
Exactly right. Like
Cool.
how have you been around since before the dinosaurs, and you're still here? Like you are the kings of the planet. We are meat for you, and yet still I hate you.
Mm-hmm. No, sharks and crocodiles, they've been around for like
Yeah.
ages.
I will still contest that sharks are the little baby puppies of the ocean.
Oh, they're great.
Most of them are.
Yeah, they're not.
You know
they're
they're
not
older
evil.
than the
Like,
Appalachian Mountains.
Damn.
oh really?
Yeah.
Those are old ass mountains.
Damn. Yeah. No, but dolphins. Those are the real
Those are
messes.
bastards.
Those are. Yeah.
Yeah, those are the real.
bastards.
If there were humans of the ocean, they would be dolphins.
Yeah. Dolphins would have been
They have
canceled.
capacity for malice.
Yes. Do you guys
The
know
fact that they
crabs?
just do evil shit to other
Like
living
crustacean?
creatures just for fun, not even for any survival purposes, just
Yeah.
for fun.
Yeah, and they get high.
Yeah.
They get fucked up on like chemicals. They know how to get high. Hallucinogens in the ocean. Did you guys know crabs have evolved to be crabs 6 separate times?
Yeah, carcinization.
Yeah.
They just keep on popping up.
Yeah, there's like crabs.
God loves crabs.
Crabs are destined to be crabs.
God loves
That's what
crabs. What
happened.
can we say?
It's the ultimate life form, crab.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all we have for this week. Thanks to Dino-Draws for joining us. Thanks to our patrons, Arsfel, Lack of Lepers, Ian Anderson, and Evan McDonnell for supporting us at patreon.com/SCP Weekly. Your support helps us keep the lights on. Intro and outro music was Caught You at the Perfect Time by Superintendent McCupcakes. SCP Weekly is distributed by Smooth Cadence Productions. SCP Weekly is not affiliated with the SCP Foundation Wiki, and as such, the opinions presented in this program are our own and do not necessarily reflect those of the Wiki or its staff.
The music is provided by Epidemic Sound.
Content relating to the SCP Foundation, including the SCP Foundation logo, is licensed under Creative Commons Sharealike 3.0, and all concepts originate from the SCP Wiki and its authors. This recording, being derived from this content, is hereby also released under CC by SA 3.0. Until next time, I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Nolan, and Decay is silent. And this was SCP Weekly.
Yeah!
Yeah, now the outro.
Another one in the books.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Diamonds on my feet, caught up in these talks, circling my head top. Should have been more cautious. Now I got what I wanted. Many I've been here before, made it out of 11 more. Like my frontal cortex, so I can't stop. I want it all. Listen up, I'm calling you. I need you to tell the truth. Remember when you wanted to. Remember that I said was you. Caught you at the perfect time. I was watching it then. You know what you want to do, but I can never be around. Got me reading between the lines. Girl, you got me so blind. You know what you want to do, so I can never be around. Man and the men don't we kinda turn around, eat your greens. When you fight, but you do it real clean. Then you come to the bed and you love real dirty. It's everybody sweater drops, you're real keen. Bring it, let me get your juiciest piece. Can't remember when I've had the same please. The shops at the club never had no boundaries. How's it gonna be? You wanna eat these centipedes? Where we gonna go? You're gonna need these calories. Giving me a treat to refill these batteries. Then you only them on your knees, there's no way to dream. Ooh, it's sneaking up on you. There's nothing you can do.